Hey guys, how is it going today? It's now March the 18th, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin. It's about 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and a lot has happened. We've had a very nice rally so far, and I'm so tired today, guys, but I really can't go to bed yet because there's still so much work to do. Despite me not doing this for the profit, I want to be known as a fairly reliable source. And because I want to be known as a reliable source, it's very important for me to keep my baby whale pods up to date all the time. So first thing we're going to do is draw a trend line right here that barely grazes and confirm, okay? Confirm with 100% certainty. Zoom in very far. Make sure that you're just grazing. Make sure you're getting just to the tip, okay? So that's really important to understand. All right, we've now confirmed pretty much all of them. This one, okay, that one. This one didn't really quite hit it. Bothers me a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna assume that it's good enough for now, okay? All right, so let's check this out. Whoops. Okay, it looks pretty good now, right? So what we see here is, first of all, we see a hanging man, guys. We see a hanging man candle. Oh, I forgot to say, if you guys love my content, I always gotta say my spiel at the beginning. If you guys love my content, I'd really appreciate an upvote on Steemit. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the material as well. And yeah, I would definitely appreciate it if you guys upvoted on Steemit. Like, just to be clear, I don't really make a lot on Steemit, okay, guys? I don't do it on Steemit because I'm looking for a profit. I do it on Steemit because it's a very good place to write a lot of content that's much more easily accessible. I can only write so much in 240 words, right? Or characters rather, and I can only post 4 charts at a time. So if I have an idea, it just makes a lot more sense to be posting it on here. And you know, it's more like a little side project. I'm not really in it for the revenue. It's more so just to have a hobby, right, to do. Because sometimes I just get bored. I don't really have a lot to do. Like I'm not like a partier or anything like that. Like I don't, you know, I'm kind of a homebody, very introverted. Believe it or not, guys, I'm actually very introverted, right? Yeah, so I get like, you know, $3, $4, $5 a post. And if you guys actually go to my main blog, like if you ever go to somebody's blog and you click on their name, right? Like let's say you go here and you click on my name, you'll see all of my posts here, and you guys can upvote it if you want. I think each vote gets me like a penny or something like that, or a little more than a penny. But I honestly don't even do anything with it, right? Whatever the profit I get from here, it's not even paid out. I actually just add it to like my dog's piggy bank in real life. I literally deposit like loonies and, you know, like coins to add it. Yeah, so it's kind of funny what I do, right? And if you guys ever want to know how to upvote it, you click on this little button right here, the arrow, okay? Yeah, you click on the arrow. Then if you guys scroll down to each post, okay, scroll down to the bottom of each post, and you just click on this button right here as well, that little button right there. So just to give you guys a quick idea of how to do it, since I know you guys support me. So let's talk about the 2-hour candle that's been forming, okay? Now, what we're getting is a steady decline in volume, if you guys have noticed. A steady decline in volume is very indicative, okay? Super indicative that it's gonna break. You know, let's actually draw this a little better. I'm not really happy with this trend line. I wanted to graze this as well, okay? Which makes a lot more sense, right? Let's make sure that we actually touch some relevant candles, just like that. Okay, let's actually do that now. That's perfect. So let's look on this, let's actually look on 2-hour. What we get on this candle is called a hanging man candle, slightly like a doji. Now the thing about this candle is, I'm going to go to my Steemit to read it to you guys actually. Okay, what we end up getting is this right here. This is a hanging man candle that we ended up getting, and it's almost like a doji, which means that the bears have decided to take profit or short positions entered, which is shown by the long wick. It implies that the bulls are finally starting to lose steam after this big green candle, but they haven't quite lost the battle yet, okay? Though it's important to understand that momentum for bulls is slowly getting low. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that the bulls will lose, but we make note of these candles, right? And then the next one that forms is like a shooting star. Think of a hammer, but inverted, okay? Now, what this shooting star candle means, it was very bearish at first, actually, right? It was super bearish, but it actually, before the close, it turned a little more bullish than bearish. And what it means is that the bulls have tried to push the market up, which is why there's a long wick. But the bears have simultaneously took profit or entered short positions. These two candle combinations are very indicative that the bulls have pretty much lost their momentum, okay? So that's really important to understand right there. So just to summarize to everybody, I think you guys are fairly caught up. So I think we're gonna put the past behind us in terms of the entire structure of this, okay? Of this whole structure. We're going to put it behind us because we're now starting a new chapter in Bitcoin. And to let everybody know, we started off with a very bullish candle. Okay, this candle was awesome. It's a hammer, and if you guys don't know what a hammer is, it implies that the bears have taken profit to some level or shorted, whatever. But we got a hammer because when we got to the very bottom, what ended up happening was people rejected the downside, which creates this very long wick. So the bears have tried to push it low, but the bulls have rejected them and have pushed it back up. And it can also mean that the bears, they might be in a short position, and to close your short position, you have to go into a long position, right? So you have to buy. And because they buy, it actually adds strength into the market on an uptrend, right? That's why they say when bears get liquidated, that is awesome. Bears get liquidated, and it adds a lot more strength in the uptrend, okay? So I just want to be clear that I personally see this as we're done right now. We're done the ABC correction, right? Just like that. Where this one made a pretty good, decent measured move, a 786, combined with a 786 retracement over here as well, and combined with a monster trendline resistance that's been forming since this day right here as well. So there's been a lot of different confluent zones for us to actually bounce off of this region. And I've been talking about it for days now, and congratulations everybody if you actually took that trade and you got into it, okay? Well, I just gotta delete this stuff and get some of my charts back. There we go. Okay, so congratulations once again. Now we need to figure out what is going on here. The daily is too early to take a look at it, but what we're seeing with the daily already, guys, is that the market wants to push it down because we have a doji up there, right? The 12-hour chart has got about 8 hours to go on it, but it's looking really bearish already, right? Look at how that is. Just to give you guys an idea, okay? To give you an idea of the daily, for example, okay? Where was it? Right here. After the uptrend on February the 6th, when we got this hammer as well, just like how we have a hammer right there, hammer, right? We actually ended up getting like a doji / shooting star style candle that rejected to the downside. So I'm expecting today to actually have a slight downtrend, which is a good sign, right? It's still a healthy correction. What we're seeing right now is that most candles are actually fairly bullish overall on most of the time frames. We look on the 4-hour chart, this one's a shooting star that's forming right away, or doji. Shooting star has already formed on the 3-hour chart. That's a very nasty rejection type candle, okay? Not only was it rejection, but it actually hit the 55 EMA. Just grazed it right there, which punctured through it. Now imagine it bouncing on the downside. If it bounced on the downside, right, where the 55 EMA is cutting, where the wick is cutting through the 55 EMA, then that's a rejection to the downside. But on the upside, it also implies the same thing as well. Now, let's just keep looking at some of these indicators. We're seeing it top out right around the 70 range right here, right? We're seeing this key region right here as an RSI resistance that can't break. Once we break out of this RSI resistance, that's going to be pretty much go time. I do believe we're going to get some higher highs, but not until we correct a little bit first, because the Elliott wave seems to be very much so close to done. Now let's go to a micro time frame right here, okay? If we go to a micro time frame, it was very bullish, guys. This run was incredibly bullish, okay? Now there's a few different ways to count it. are we gonna count it like this, where that's waves 1, okay? That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5, like this, okay? If that was the actual count, then what we're easily gonna say is that we're now done it, okay? Like this. Now, I believe that this is the main count because I have no other way to look at it on any time frame, right? I know that there's 5 small subwaves in here somewhere like that, so I've got really no choice but to think that all 5 waves are actually done. In fact, I was calling the top a while ago, and no, I wasn't actually. I was calling the top over here. My mistake, guys. I was incredibly wrong, okay? So right now, what we've done is we've retraced to the 236 Fibonacci level already, okay? 236. And do you remember earlier I was talking about breaking above here? Actually, yeah, I did call this. I said that wave 3 could retrace almost this line, and then it could bounce back up to maybe 84.50 to 85.50 range at most. I definitely did. Now, we're retracing to the 236 level already, right? But what I am hoping for right now, and geez, I really hope I'm right, is I'm hoping for an ABC to somewhere around here, okay? The reason why I simply say this is because if I take my Fibonacci extension tool from A to like this, where we're about to go, it actually ends up being a very confluent zone right around here, okay? First of all, it's the 0.5 Fibonacci level, right? It's a 0.5 Fibonacci level. Secondly, it's a one-to-one extension of waves A to B. And thirdly, it's actually right at the trend line resistance, right? That, or the former resistance that's now a support. So because of a triple confluent zone, I don't really have a choice but to believe it, guys, that we're gonna end up downtrending to this specific zone. Now this specific zone is between, you know, honestly, I'm gonna give a range. I'm gonna say between 8,000, okay, or 7,850 to 8,000. That's where I think the possible target is gonna be. So we're probably gonna end up downtrending a little bit. I don't know how much. That's why I would more so like to define an actual target, okay? Now, if we actually ended up correcting right over here, okay? Let's say we ended up correcting right over here to that specific structure, then this, all of this would actually be wave 1, right? And this is now wave 2, which I'll actually just draw it over here to make it more consistent, right? Does that make sense now? This would be wave 1. And this is wave 2, just like that. Wow, am I ever tired? The work never stops in crypto, you know, like you get obsessed about it. And to me, like I've always said, I don't do it for the profit, right? Like I more so do everything for fun right now. And because it is still fun, right? But it's also very tiring. I enjoy it a lot. It's, imagine a kid being really tired and he doesn't want to go to, oh wow. Imagine a kid, you know, I'm not saying I'm a kid at all, right? I'm 33, man. But imagine a kid who forces himself to stay awake because he wants to play his favorite video game, right? That's kind of how it is to me. Despite how people say that it's really hard to make money in the market and that this should be taken very seriously, it's honestly nothing but a big video game to me where I just want to keep getting better and better. So some people see it very differently than the way I do it, right? I literally just see it as a video game, not because I don't take it seriously, but because yeah, like I literally see it as a video game, like an arcade game where I'm just like addicted to it. I can't stop. And it's a good thing though. So let's say we retrace to that 0.5 Fibonacci level. What I would like to hope for now is this. I would like to hope for possible next target, okay? Now the next possible target could easily be up to $9,000, okay? Now ignore time frame always ignore time frame because I don't do technical analysis based on time analysis, okay? So it's very important to remember that, guys. We follow the rule that wave 3 is often the longest and never the shortest. Therefore, it makes sense for me to target that right there, okay? Now let's see, it's going back. Yeah, like we don't really have major resistance, right? So I'm gonna There's like some right there, like around 85.50. You know, there's some here around 86. But I'm just gonna ignore those for now and just do this analysis based on Elliott wave and assume that the 5 subwaves inside of it will meet at one of the resistance and support points, right? So it'll go something like that up there. I'm more so doing a very general video because I don't really have that much energy right now, and I think it's time to go to bed. My dog is looking really, really fluffy right now, and she's just waiting for me. So that's kind of where I stand, guys. I believe that a correction will happen. You know, this could reach, and who knows how high it can reach, right? It can go anywhere between there. Regardless of that, I don't really want to analyze that part. I do believe that this right here is going to correct. Who knows when it can get there? I don't do time analysis, but I do believe it will correct to the rough ranges of right here, okay? Rough range between the 78.50 to 8,000 range. And then once we hit these targets, we could be on pace to hit well over $9,000. It's over 9,000! I'm sure there's going to be a lot of those memes once we actually hit it. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a very quick update, like less than 20 minutes, and this was kind of it. So other than that, guys, have yourselves a great night. Thank you very much for all the love and the support always. Make sure you guys upvoted on Steemit, where I'd really appreciate it. If you guys have killed it in the market today, and you guys have done just super well because of my calls or something, you guys are welcome to donate to the cryptocurrency piggy bank, right? But if you guys ever do, just buy me a lunch or something, or a coffee. I never do anything more than that. I say this at the end of every call, right? I say at the end of every call. Honestly, it's just routine. And hey, if I'm doing a really good job, let me know I'm doing a good job. That's kind of simple as that. Just buy me a coffee, man. $2. Man, does that ever make me happy whenever people give me $2 as a tip, believe it or not. Because it just makes me feel like I'm doing something really good. So it's all game to me at the end of the day. So other than that, guys, thank you very much for everything that you've done. Have yourselves a great night and take care. And I'll give you guys an update later down the road. I don't know if I can make any more videos, okay? I'm so tired tonight. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I just feel delusional because I'm just so freaking tired. So bye now.